which is expected to reach more than 5%. The Minister of National Development Planning, Suharso Monoarfa, explained that the domestic economic situation is starting to improve as seen from the third quarter's economic growth of 3.51%. He believes the economy can grow at 3.8 to 4% this year, but in the fourth quarter it must grow above 5%. In an effort to accelerate economic recovery this year, the government also encouraged the implementation of strict health protocols in various economic activities. Hopefully, there won't be a third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Maksud saya di 3,51, sehingga kalau kita lihat dari overall dari Januari sampai dengan triwulan ketiga sampai dengan September kira-kira 3,24. Kira-kira kalau kita tarik sampai dengan akhir tahun ini berapa ya? Nah, kami menghitung kira-kira antara 3,8 sampai 4%.
Indonesia's G20 presidency will certainly push for several key issues regarding world recovery. The Minister of Finance explained that the uneven recovery situation will be the main topic that Indonesia will push to become a problem that must be resolved.
The issue of uneven recovery will be the main issue raised under the Indonesian presidency in the G20 forum in 2022. Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani Indrawati said that the current recovery condition is uneven, where the recovery in developed countries is progressing rapidly, but in developing countries and left behind at a slow pace. To overcome this condition, the Minister of Finance ensured that the G20 Indonesia presidency would raise this issue as one of the main issues. This is because the unequal conditions can have significant implications for policy coordination of world leaders. One example is the condition of inflation spikes that occurred in a number of countries,
in which the advanced countries showing a much faster recovery and emerging as well as some low-income country lagging behind. This definitely will create a significant implication on the policy coordination. And this is exactly what is now we are witnessing. Some country has already suffering from the very high pressure of inflation, and that's why they will be forced to adjust their policy, while others is still struggling from the contraction of the economy, unemployment, and poverty.
At the G20 forum in 2022, the Indonesian government will also discuss draft policies to continue the recovery process by avoiding premature withdrawal of the stimulus. The government also emphasized that the G20 forum will continue to be vigilant against a number of challenges that have surfaced recently, such as soaring inflation, high commodity prices, and supply chain disruptions. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
Within the framework of the G20 cooperation, Bank Indonesia ensures a framework of cooperation to promote productivity and sustainable growth. Bank Indonesia also ensures that it will strengthen cooperation between central banks of G20 member countries.
Bank of Indonesia ensures that the main agenda in 2022 G20 cooperations in the economic and monetary sectors will focus on recovery and sustainable growth. Governor of Bank of Indonesia Periwarjo explained that to welcome Indonesia's presidency in the upcoming G20 2022, the government and Bank of Indonesia will focus on strengthening multilateral and effective global partnerships. Indonesia's G20 presidency will emphasize priority areas such as promoting productivity, increasing resilience and stability, and ensuring sustainable and inclusive growth. Periwarjo also emphasized 4 important points at next year's meeting, such as international coordinations, overcoming the effects of the pandemic, digitalizations, and climate change.
To recover together and ensure that countries can recover stronger into a better and more resilient shape. In this juncture, the Indonesia G20 presidency will emphasize priority areas such as promoting productivity, increasing resiliency,
and stability, as well as ensuring a sustainable.
Bank of Indonesia also emphasized the importance of communications, especially from developed countries, to ensure that global financial markets remain stable and conducive, as well as to ensure policies to anticipate spillover risks to developing countries. From Jakarta, Rajo Patmo for IDX Channel.
And we're moving on to global update. UK economic growth slowed between July and September as supply chain problems hindered the recovery. Meanwhile, Disney Plus gained 2.1 million customers in the fiscal fourth quarter. And more stories on today's International Minute.
Tesla chief executive Elon Musk has sold around $5 billion of shares in the electric car maker. It comes days after he asked his 63 million Twitter followers whether he should sell 10% of his stake in Tesla. The company shares fell by around 16% in the 2 days after the poll came out in favor of him selling shares before regaining some ground on Wednesday. UK economic growth slowed between July and September as supply chain problems hindered the recovery, latest official figures show. The Office for National Statistics said consumer spending increased as Britain continued to emerge from lockdown. But that was offset by falls in other areas of the economy, leaving growth for the 3 months of 1.3%. Shares in electric vehicle firm Rivian soared when they started trading on Wednesday, boosting the market value of the firm to $100 billion. Rivian shares slipped by 30% on the first day of trading. That made the startup, which is developing electric vans, pickups and SUVs, the second most valuable car maker in the US after Tesla. Yet Rivian only started delivering its first electric pickup trucks to customers in September. Walt Disney reported a smaller than expected increase in subscribers to its namesake streaming service, a sign that Disney Plus is struggling to broaden its appeal after an explosive start. The video service gained 2.1 million customers in the fiscal fourth quarter, bringing the total to 118.1 million globally. IDX Channel reports.
Market headlines will be right back after this quick break. Stay tuned with us.
Kini aplikasi mClears hadir di handphone Anda untuk memudahkan transaksi Anda. Informasi aktivitas clearing dan penjaminan tidak lagi hanya dapat diakses melalui komputer di kantor Anda, melainkan dapat diakses di mana saja dan kapan saja dalam genggaman Anda. Fitur-fitur mClears. Equity clearing dan settlement adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi kewajiban settlement anggota clearing hingga nilai alternate case settlement serta informasi gagal bayar. Risk management adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi trading limit, kolateral, MKBD, portofolio harian, risk charge anggota clearing dan kombinasi, serta nilai minimum cash collateral. Derivatif adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi trading limit, margin call, dan informasi clearing derivatif. Terkait pinjam-meminjam efek, terdapat fitur mengenai borrowing information dan lendable pool information, serta lending revenue dan borrowing fee. Serta menu lain yang menampilkan informasi mengenai haircut, risk charge saham, dan nilai harga penyelesaian harian dan harga penyelesaian final. Selain itu, Anda juga dapat mengakses fitur pengumuman, peraturan, dan informasi layanan KPEI pada aplikasi mClears. Download aplikasi mClears di App Store atau Google Play Store. Lakukan registrasi user Anda dengan menggunakan alamat email berdomain resmi yang sesuai dengan anggota clearing Anda. Setelah registrasi, Anda akan diberikan kode OTP di email Anda untuk verifikasi. Dan aplikasi mClears Anda siap untuk digunakan. Anda dapat mengakses seluruh menu pada aplikasi mClears dengan melakukan aktivasi berlangganan premium. yang dapat dilakukan dengan memilih menu Get Premium. Download aplikasinya sekarang, lakukan registrasi, dan dapatkan kemudahan dalam genggaman tangan Anda. Kemudahan informasi KPEI dalam genggaman Anda.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. Gaikindo Indonesia International Auto Show, or GIAS 2021, has officially opened. The Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs, Erlangga Hartarto, said that GIAS 2021 was not only an exhibition event, but also a driving force for the rise of the domestic automotive industry.
Gaikindo Indonesia International Auto Shows, or GIAS 2021, has officially opened. In the opening ceremony of GIAS 2021, Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs Erlangga Hartarto appreciated the holding of GIAS 2021 as an exhibitions event that is able to encourage the growth of the domestic automotive industry. Erlangga added, as a country with the best pandemic handling in ASEAN, the government is optimistic that national economic growth will grow 4% in 2021.
Industri relatif sudah lebih baik karena situasinya PMI kita di bulan Oktober, ini Pak Menteri Perindustrian dengan Yonggi-nya itu indeks kita tertinggi, yaitu 57,2. Sehingga tentu kita dengan beberapa angka ini kita optimis bahwa di kuartal keempat kita bisa mencapai pertumbuhan yang di atas 5.
With a positive economic growth, the government is confident that the automotive industry will also grow and provide a multiplier effect for other industries. One of the impacts that will be given is the absorption of labor. From Jakarta, Rizka Ayu, Pandu Priyoaji for IDX Channel.
Meantime, Gaikindo claims that domestic sales in the period from January to October 2021 jumped 68%. Chairman of Gaikindo, Johannes Nangoy, said that the growth of the national automotive industry has improved as a result of the relaxation of VAT on luxury goods provided by the government. Johannes claimed the automotive industry grew 68% from January to October 2021. When compared to the same period last year. Johannes added that the growth of the automotive industry has been able to absorb up to 1.5 million workers. Among the workers absorbed are in the supporting industrial sectors, such as the component industry, financial services, dealers and workshops, as well as MSME companies in other automotive sectors.
Periode Januari-Oktober 2021 dibandingkan dengan periode yang sama di tahun 2020 tercatat kenaikan penjualan domestik hingga 68%. Kami juga mohon maaf, sampai saat ini masih terjadi antrian pemesanan kendaraan. Kami akan bekerja keras agar segera dapat memenuhi seluruh kebutuhan tersebut. Serta pada periode yang sama, angka ekspor CBU juga mencatatkan kenaikan sebesar 33,5%. Sebagai lokomotif industri, pulihnya kegiatan produksi kendaraan bermotor yang menyerap total tenaga kerja mencapai lebih dari 1,5 juta orang, turut diikuti juga dengan bangkitnya kegiatan usaha industri-industri pendukung seperti industri komponen, industri jasa keuangan, asuransi, dealer, bengkel.
The investment commitment that has been signed with the United Arab Emirates of $44.6 billion will be realized in the next year and 2023. This investment will later be used for infrastructure, health, and the development of new and renewable energy.
Investment Minister Bahlil Lahadalia ensured that investment commitments with the United Arab Emirates of $44.6 billion will be realized in stage starting from 2022 of $8 billion until the end of 2023. Later, this investment will be directed to a number of sectors, ranging from infrastructure and agriculture, medical devices, data center, renewable energy, to downstream mining. Bahlil said that the downstream mining will take the form of downstream coal gasifications in low-calorie coal gasifications into the metal ether, which will replace LPG.
Nah, khususnya menyangkut dengan PA atau Persatuan Uni Emirat Arab. Kita mempunyai komitmen total investasi yang kita sudah lakukan teken di sana sebesar 44,6 miliar US dollar. Ini bukan angka kaleng kerupuk nih. Ini 44,6 miliar US dollar. Memang dari angka ini ada sebagian yang akan di-handle oleh INA, kurang lebih sekitar 18 miliar US dollar.
Bahlil added that the governments will accelerate the realizations of investment in various ways, starting by providing confidence and guarantees to investors to accelerate licensing to making agreements to build good collaborations between investor and national entrepreneurs in Indonesia. From Jakarta, Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
Technology company Gotoh Group announced the first closing of its pre-IPO fundraising. The company managed to reach more than 1.3 billion US dollar, or equivalent to 185.2 trillion rupiah. This fundraiser was obtained from investors, including from wholly owned subsidiaries of the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, Avanda Investment Management, Fidelity International, Google, Permodalan Nasional Berhad, Primavera Capital Group, Seatown Master Fund, Temasek, Tencent, and Wordvary. Meanwhile, other investors are expected to join in the next round of pre-IPO fundraising towards the final closing in the coming weeks. Andre Sulistyo, CEO of the Gotoh Group, say the funds raised will allow Gotoh to invest further in developing its ecosystem, strengthen its position as a market leader in the region, and better serve customers. He also revealed that Indonesia and Southeast Asia are the two markets with the most promising growth prospects in the world. And stay with us because market headlines will be back with informations from the capital market.
Seiring meluasnya cakrawala investasi di tengah pasar saham yang dinamis. Analisa mendalam diperlukan untuk menemukan saham berorientasi value yang menghasilkan kinerja yang tinggi. IDX Channel akan mengulas isu pasar dan pergerakan saham terkini. Saksikan ulasannya bersama analis terpercaya hanya di IDX Channel.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Versation Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Dilihat dari sektor UMKM nampaknya sudah mulai terasa itu, Mas.
Ya, kalau kita lihat dari indikator kredit ya untuk UMKM, ini memang sudah menunjukkan bahwa ekonomi UMKM mulai bergeliat.
Datu membawakan program berita News Screen yang menghadirkan informasi seputar ekonomi maupun juga bisnis dari dalam negeri.
Welcome back. At the Jakarta Composite Index Intraday Movement earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,710.85. And then approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 6,667.73. And then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,651.05. And in short, JCI went down 0.6%. And let's see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got transportation and logistics as the leader of strengthening trend, went up 1.14%. Basic sector went up 1.05%. And next we got cyclic as the leader of weakening trend, went down 1.10%, and finance went down 1.17%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights. MDKA went up 4.57% to the level of 3,430 rupiah. Bambu Kopin went up 4.47% to the level of 374 rupiah per share. BNBA went up 24.78% to the level of 2,870 rupiah per share. And CPRO went up 2.94% to the level of 70 rupiah per share. And from the top gainers, let's see the top losers. For today's trading, we got Arto, went down 4.76% to the level of 15,500 rupiah. Telkom went down 1.37% to the level of 3,600 rupiah. Bank Sentral Asia went down 1.95% to the level of 7,525. And Bank Rakyat Indonesia went down 0.71% to the level of 4,220 rupiah per share. And next we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,241. Rupiah showing strengthening trend towards US dollar, and it was closed at the level of 14,234. And in summary, rupiah went up 0.2%. Indosement Tunggal Prakarsa conveyed its performance in the third quarter by recording an overall domestic sales volume of 12.7 million tons, or 4.9% higher than the same period in the last year.
Indosement Tunggal Prakarsa conveyed its performance in the third quarter of 2021 by recording an overall domestic sales volume of 12.7 million tons, 4.9% higher than the same period last year. Specifically, the domestic volume of cement products was recorded at 12 million tons, or 2.8% year-on-year higher, so that Indocement's market share reached 25.5% in the third quarter of 2021. Director of Indosement Tunggal Prakarsa Antonius Marcos said that the company's net revenue was reported to have increased by 4.5% to 10.61 trillion rupiah. On the other hand, cost of revenue increased 4.5% to 7.02 trillion rupiah. This was due to an increase in sales volume. However, he said the company managed to suppress the increase in production costs lower with the increase in sales volume. Even though the price was lower, higher coal. The level of alternative fuel composition in third quarter 2021 increased to 11.8% from the full year 2020 of 9.3%. And the level of LCV coal usage was at 88% in the third quarter 2021 from the full year 2020 of 80%. IDX Channel reports.
Bank KB Bukopin will hold a right issue worth 7.04 trillion rupiah. The number of shares to be released is 35.21 billion Class B shares with an exercise price of 200 rupiah per share. Based on the prospectus, the major shareholders will exercise all rights to buy new shares in the right issue, namely 23.59 billion shares or 4.7 trillion rupiah. After the allocation of additional shares, Kukmin will act as a standby buyer for a maximum of 3.5 billion shares of 700 billion rupiah. The rights issue will be distributed to shareholders of the listed company on November 18, 2021. The proceeds from the rights issue will be used in stages. The main allocation for investment and credit expansion, around 16%.